This is Win News.
Tonight, a Wollongong function manager pleads guilty to fraudulently appropriating charity funds. A warning to drive to the conditions following an accident captured on dash cam, and greyhound dog donations spike locally due to the industry ban. Good evening, I'm Jeff Phillips. Also tonight, students of a Picton school return following the flood that ravaged the town. Bella Portofino manager Manuel Paradises has pleaded guilty to fraudulently appropriating charity funds. In Wollongong court today, the prosecutor labelled it a disturbing and callous matter.
Mount Warrigal man George Tester was paralysed from the chest down after routine surgery in 2014 went horribly wrong. His family was approached by Manuel Paradises, the owner of the Bella Portofino Group, to hold a fundraising event that was attended by around 500 guests. The money would go towards Mr Tester's full-time care. A raffle was held on the evening, raising more than $17,500, but Paradises failed to deposit that money into the fundraising account. After numerous attempts to get the money, the matter was reported to police. Paradises had pleaded not guilty to the original charge of larceny as bailee, but today, on what was meant to be day one of a two-day hearing, he entered a guilty plea to fraudulent appropriation after an agreement for an alternate verdict was reached. The decision based on the fact that the offence was not premeditated. Given the funds were raised for charity, the prosecutor labelled the matter as particularly disturbing and callous. A cheque for more than $17,500 was handed over in court today, with Paradises ordered to repay the money he took. The magistrate said a conviction will be recorded, and my view is that it's serious. The offence carries a maximum penalty of 2 years in prison, but alternatives such as serving a suspended sentence or community service were briefly discussed. 52-year-old Paradises will be sentenced tomorrow. Tanya Dandrinos, Win News.
Shocking dashcam vision has emerged of a T-bone crash in Albion Park yesterday. Thankfully, no one was injured, but police say it's a lesson to always drive with caution and with lights on in wet weather.
Wet weather driving can be dangerous at the best of times, but these unsuspecting motorists in Albion Park felt the full brunt of it yesterday. On closer inspection, it appears one didn't see the other.
The weather was overcast, it was a bit hard to see, so it made it a bit more difficult for both drivers to actually judge the road conditions.
The impact spun one vehicle 180 degrees. The other's tray was smashed to pieces.
They are substantially damaged.
3 highway patrol officers attended the accident just before 10 a.m, closing the Princess Highway as debris was cleaned up. Local police say if you're not fully attentive while driving in the rain, you're tempting fate.
That had the potential for serious injuries.
Everyone walked away from the accident unharmed, but police are asking that this be a severe warning to motorists driving in wet conditions.
Drive to the conditions of the road, but also increase your gap, switch your headlights on, be a bit more vigilant.
Kimberly Pratt, Win News.
A 16-year-old boy allegedly stole a car before leading police on a frightening chase through Bomaderry in the early hours of this morning. The teenager allegedly stole a ute before leading police on a short foot pursuit when the car chase came to an end on Lyndhurst Drive. He was arrested by Narra police, who allegedly uncovered a number of items in the car believed to be stolen.
Which then led them to a Jasmine Street Bomaderry address, where they commenced investigations into an aggravated break and enter offence.
Police also wished to speak to a passenger who is thought to have fled when the chase came to an end. The family and friends of Sam Denyer, the 28-year-old who was killed in a freak accident on the M1 when a tree hit his utility last week, are just $1,000 off raising their fundraising target of $65,000. The money will go towards the late father's 5-week-old baby and his fiancée Samantha Phelps. They've thanked everyone who's donated. His funeral will be held at Northcliffe Chapel at Kembla Grange tomorrow. 2 weeks since the greyhound racing ban, animal rescue shelters are calling out for more funding as they struggle to house an influx of former racing greyhounds being surrendered by trainers. One Courto Heights foster carer has doubled her intake in an effort to help shelters deal with a sudden surge of dogs.
Animal lover Kath Errington has fostered pets for over a year, but now she's opening up her home even more.
I will be constantly taking on more. So normally I haven't had 2 greyhounds at a time before. I normally will take 1 greyhound because I have my own dog, and I actually have a cat upstairs at the moment as well that I'm fostering.
Both have a turbulent past involved in the racing industry.
So I've got Polly and Rhonda. Polly is, she's an older greyhound, she's 10 years old. She's been predominantly used just for breeding, so her whole life has been puppy after puppy after puppy.
Carers like Kath are more vital than ever. Since the Baird government greyhound announcement 2 weeks ago, local animal rescue shelters are struggling to cope with the influx of dogs.
Over the last 3 weeks, we've seen, 16 greyhounds needing to come through. We would probably bring in 2 or 3 a week. The increase is dramatic.
As well as reaching capacity, the costs are starting to mount.
It's a very costly exercise because most of them need dentals, vet care, registration.
Well, we're pretty busy, we're on off our feet, so we've got all our general stuff that we're doing anyway, as well as this additional greyhound work.
As well as mounting concerns that dogs left unhomed will be moved interstate to continue racing. The Wollongong Animal Rescue Network expects the number of greyhounds surrendered to continue to rise in the coming months, leaving hundreds of dogs like Bo here without a home.
We just got to do the best we can and work with what we have and hope that we get the assistance to continue.
If you're interested in donating or becoming a greyhound foster carer, visit the website. Sydney Pede, Win News.
Shoalhaven City Council has joined the chorus of opposition to Premier Mike Baird's decision to shut down the greyhound industry from July next year. Councillors voted to write to the Premier's office asking for him to reconsider his position, instead tightening regulations in the industry.
The recommendation was that we write to Mr Baird, the Premier, and ask the government to reconsider the ban and put in much stronger legislation and enforcement conditions.
Council owns the Nowra base of the Shoalhaven Greyhound Club, and Mayor Joanna Gash says tightening legislation to remove those breaking the rules is a better solution. Meantime, Shoalhaven City Council's prospective candidates are being urged to register and attend one of 2 briefing sessions on Monday. The 3-hour sessions, held in Ulladulla and Nowra, will familiarise candidates with local government protocols ahead of the September 10 election. This comes as current Mayor Joanna Gash launches her New Look team, which is vying for a spot over Greg Watson and his independent supporters. For more information on how to attend, you can contact Shoalhaven Council. Nominations open on the 1st of August. A Picton school ravaged by floods last month could reopen in less than 6 weeks. At a meeting last night, parents were told St Anthony's Catholic Primary School is planning to have kindergarten to Year 2 back at school by the first week of September. It's hoped the whole of the student population will return by term 4. Students are currently being bused to Rosemeadow Public School. Ahead on Win News, graduations at the University of Wollongong, including a researcher looking at astronauts, and Shoalhaven Police bucking the statewide trend by driving down the road toll. You're watching Win News. Another round of students has graduated from the University of Wollongong today, with this class of engineers setting their eyes on the sky. Dr Jeremy Davis has now completed his 6th undertaking at the UOW. His latest research is measuring radiation levels in astronauts and its effects on human tissue, as well as helping cancer patients with radiation therapy.
Think of it like X-rays as a scalpel to target these tumours which are in dangerous positions in the body.
Other engineering graduates are eager to start their careers.
Because that's a great degree and everyone can, graduating from this, can go on to make a real difference in the world.
Mid-year graduations will continue tomorrow. Mining company South 32 says it's on track to achieve projected improved market outcomes for the next financial year after it delivered a mixed bag of results in its quarterly report to June 2016. The progression of longwall operations at the company's Illawarra coal Appin operations have driven a coal production increase of almost 30% across its Illawarra sites. The Appin Area 9 project compensated for stalled longwall production at the company's Dendrobium and Appin operations. Massive internal restructuring at its major operations have also contributed to an optimistic outlook. Shoalhaven Police say they're making headway when it comes to reducing the number of fatalities on the region's roads. Figures show the South Coast is bucking the state trend and is largely due to the unprecedented crackdown on the cultivation and distribution of illicit drugs within the community.
They're the staggering figures that have police on edge.
This year we've had 208 fatal crashes, Unfortunately, 223 people have lost their lives.
Commander of the Metropolitan Highway Patrol, David Driver, in Nowra today as police ramp up efforts to bring down the sobering statistics.
Our efforts to reduce the road toll are focused right across the state of New South Wales and just not confined to the Sydney metropolitan area.
The number of lives lost on the road since January 1 is up 23% compared to the same time last year, and there have been 83 more deaths over the last 12 months compared to the year prior.
They are mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, friends who, at the end of the day, aren't coming home.
Locally, though, the message is sinking in. After a tragic year on Shoalhaven roads, the region's top cop says the tide is turning.
We had 10 fatals last year. Year to date right now, we've had one. One still unacceptable rate, and we'll work as hard as we possibly can to get that down to zero.
He says it's no coincidence the improving figures come as they gain the upper hand in the fight against illicit drugs.
There's been extra funding put towards drug testing in the sanctuary point around Shoalhaven itself, and we'll continue to drug test till as long as we have to.
Jared Constable, Win News.
Labor's Mike Kelly is once again Eden Monero's representative in Parliament after the Australian Electoral Commission declared results for the seat today. Despite being a bellwether seat for more than 40 years, this time election results bucked the trend, with Mike Kelly being voted in with a margin of more than 5%. Kelly now faces the next 3 years as a member of the opposition, but believes it won't disadvantage the region.
No one here is going to be ignored by any government. Eden Monero is critically important, so we'll always get our fair share and I'll fight for that.
Kelly is promising to hold the coalition government to account and ensure it delivers on its commitments it made. Meantime, Stephen Jones was also officially sworn in as the member for Whitlam today. The former member for Throsby is grateful for the resounding response from voters in his new boundary.
I really want to thank the people of Whitlam. The electors of Whitlam have put their faith in me.
I will be talking to Stephen about some of the things that I'd like to see changed in the federal world.
His opponents, Liberals Marcus Hewitt and the National Party's Jan Mandelson, didn't attend. The Whitlam MP has pledged to focus on the future of steel, improving local schools and strengthening Medicare. Homelessness is not a laughing matter, but tomorrow night the Gong's Great Debate will use comedy to raise money for those who are sleeping rough. Wollongong's Comedy Club and I98 FM are hosting the debate at the Master Builders Club, which will determine which is the more complicated sex.
We just really wanted to have a really good night that would go to a good cause as well.
So we're hoping to raise money so that we can put it towards getting people out of the cold, off the hard concrete and into a warm bed.
The money raised from the night will be donated to the Homeless Hub for emergency accommodation. It will also help start its bigger dream of a room somewhere, a hostel that will specifically be used for the homeless. Sport is next with Tim Robinson, and two of our newest Hawks are settling into Wollongong.
They are, very nicely as well. Nick Kay and Mitch Norton are straight into work at the Snake Pit, and we catch up with Nicole Beck and Emma Tonegado before they chase Rugby Sevens gold in Rio. Two Illawarra Rugby Sevens stars are ready to embark on their Olympic journey when the Australian women's sevens team leaves for Rio on Tuesday. The hard work has paid off for Nicole Beck and Emma Tonegado, and they've had plenty of support along the way. Nicole Beck and Emma Tonegado are on the cusp of recognising their Olympic dream, and what a journey it's been. For Beck, a former Australian touch football representative, competing at Rio wasn't even on the map when she made her switch to rugby sevens.
So when I first started playing, it hadn't been announced as an Olympic sport yet. It was still one of the sports vying to play, so it was definitely, once it was named, an aim to be in that team to go to the Olympics. But for Tonegado, the Olympic carrot was dangling when she made the change from touch and rugby league.
It was hard growing up playing touch and league. We didn't really have anything to aspire to, such as the Olympics, but crossing over to rugby with the Olympics as such a lure, it's just an amazing opportunity. Friends throughout their years of touch football, the pair became even closer when linking up in the Aussie Sevens program. She's like my sister. You know, when I moved out of home at 19, I lived with her for a year, and she took me under her wing and taught me how to do things for myself, so I have a lot to owe to her. For 28-year-old Beck, it's been a slightly more challenging experience. Engaged to fiancé Joel, their 3-year-old daughter Sophie also keeps the full-time Aussie Sevens star on her toes.
The program going full time was a blessing for me, and they're really good with Sophie. She comes to training some days during the week, and the girls are really good with her extended family. So she's my inspiration and motivation to do the best I can.
Along for the ride, both families have been there for each other every pass off the ruck. The Beck and Tonegato's have been friends for many years, forming a bond which will lead the cheer squad in Rio.
It's wonderful to share this journey with other families, and the Becks are a fantastic family. So, we couldn't be happier, and it just enhances the experience.
They're just family now, so we're very lucky to have such wonderful people to share this with.
Reigning world champions, the Aussie women's 7 side head into the games as favourites. They'll face Colombia, Fiji and the USA in their pool matches on August 7 and 8, with a full focus on a gold medal match on August 9.
Going into the tournament, we've got expectations on ourselves, and we want to really try and bring that gold home.
2 of the Illawarra Hawks' newest recruits have flown into Wollongong this week as they begin preparations for the upcoming NBL season. Nick Kay and Mitch Norton both signed from the Townsville Crocs and have plenty to offer on and off the court. Arriving at the Hawks' nest for the next 2 seasons, Nick Kay and Mitch Norton are coming off a mixed year at the now defunct Townsville.
There's a lot of ups and a lot of downs. We kind of rode the roller coaster there for a while, but the group really stuck together, and from what I've heard, this group with Wollongong or Illawarra is very similar.
In their own right, the pair were instrumental for the Crocs last season. Norton stepping in as captain halfway through the year with his leadership paying off. He went to China with the All-NBL touring team and also played for the emerging Boomers.
Andre spoke about the way with the qualification and all that changing for the Olympics and World Championships and stuff like that. The NBA guys won't be available, so it kind of does come down to a lot of guys in the NBL, and hopefully I can keep proving myself.
For Kay, his season was capped with NBL Rookie of the Year honours.
I think getting that award just puts a bigger target on your back, so you can't be satisfied with how you went last year. It's about building on that and setting new goals and trying to meet them, so really looking forward to this season.
Attracting interest from many clubs, Kay comes to Wollongong with the chance of learning off the best centre in the competition, AJ Ogilvie.
I had Conklin for the start of last year, and he really helped that development early in it, so having someone like AJ is going to be even better. Big body guy that can really play, so makes going up against other guys even easier when you got those games.
Now it's time for this week's Football South Coast Juniors Corner, and we take a look at the Corrimal Junior Football Club and its initiative to encourage playing referees. Referees are a critical part of football. There are currently 378 referees throughout the Football South Coast Junior and Senior competitions. The Corrimal Rangers Junior Football Club is helping to add to the ranks, encouraging its players to also pick up a whistle.
Just recently I've started refereeing under 18s in the middle. I've been doing assistant refereeing in the Illawarra Premier League and Youth League, and also I've been refereeing in the National Premier League.
Liam Webb is an under-18s player for Corrimal, but also began refereeing at the age of 14.
Well, obviously as a player you get a better understanding of the game and the nuances of how the ball can move around the park, and also you get a better understanding of how the players might be feeling. You can empathise a bit more and help them out in certain situations.
Webb says as a referee who also plays, the respect is much greater when he takes to the pitch to officiate.
Yeah, definitely they recognise that you have that understanding of the game, not just as a referee but also as a player.
The initiative by Corrimal is highly recommended for other junior clubs across the league, with plenty of new pathways also available.
Refereeing is definitely, there's lots of opportunities that have been coming my way, with like representative level and that sort of thing, and that's been the same with another few referees at Corrimal. We've all been started refereeing representative level this year.
And Jeff, that is all for Thursday Sport. Tim, thank you very much. The weather details are next, then we'll check in on the snow report.
This report brought to you by the new Can-Am Defender. Tough, capable, clever.
cloudy day with some light drizzle here and there. On tonight's satellite, thick cloud over northeastern New South Wales with a trough is generating rain. Low cloud over the coast and a weak onshore breeze is causing a few drizzly showers. Cloud over southern parts of the state with another trough is bringing rain mostly to the Alps. On the synoptic chart, a trough will bring heavy rainfall to New South Wales and Victoria. An advancing cold front will begin to drive rain into Tasmania, Victoria and coastal South Australia. Onshore winds will produce coastal showers along southern parts of WA, while a ridge of high pressure will keep elsewhere dry. Wollongong today to 17 degrees. Bowra will reach 15, Nowra 19, Ulladulla and Bateman's Bay 17, Maruya 18, Narooma 17, 19 the top in Bega, Merimbula and Eden both 18. The forecast for the Illawarra on the highlands, cloudy with areas of morning fog and the slight chance of a shower. For the south coast, again areas of fog in the early morning. That'll be followed by a cloudy Friday with showers possible. On the waters, seas are running at 1 to 2 metres on a less than 1 metre swell. The first tide tomorrow is a low at 3:55. The high comes rolling in just prior to 10. Tops for a Friday, 22 for Eden and Merimbula, Bega 24, Narooma 23, Maruya 25, 23 degrees for Bateman's Bay and Ulladulla, 23 at Nowra, 10 to 19 in Bowral, Wollongong 14 to 24. Looking further ahead, wind and rain for Saturday, followed by sunshine on Sunday and Monday with tops in the mid-teens. That is the weather, and now with a report on snow conditions for this weekend, here's Luke Neller at Thredbo.
Hello from Thredbo. Well, unseasonably warm temperatures has resulted in spring-like conditions across the resort, but good news is on the way from this weekend. All 14 lifts are in operation with something to be found for every level and ability. While there are some patchy areas and soft spring-like conditions in the afternoons, there's still a great cover and some fantastic skiing and boarding on offer top to bottom on Australia's longest runs. For the advanced and 3.7 kilometre super trail is the pick. Intermediates can perfect their turns at the cruiser area, while for the beginners, the gentle slopes of Friday Flat is perfect to learn the basics. The Jibbers had plenty of features to grind, slide and jump on in the Friday Flat and cruiser terrain parks, while for those not up to skiing or boarding, the free snow play area is open for some family wintry fun. Over in Perisher and 44 lifts are open. Mount Selwyn has 1 lift spinning. Down to Victoria and Falls Creek has 13 lifts open. Mount Buller has 16, while at Hotham 8 lifts are running. Now we are in for a few more warm days before the temperatures drop and we see snow start to fall Friday night across the weekend. In Thredbo, this is Luke Neller for Win News.
Luke, thank you. And that is Win News for Thursday, the 21st of July. To view some of our reports, visit the Win News Illawarra Facebook page. Join us for the All Australian News tonight at 11:30 and again tomorrow at 6 for Win News. I'm Jeff Phillips. Enjoy your evening. Stand by now for The Project. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.